Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. Wait, let me close my bedroom door. All right, so I'm back with another video because honestly, I had nothing to do today and I was just scrolling on TikTok and I seen this girl. She was talking about the situation with I was going to say Kendall, with Kendall and Nicole, and also with the whole Vial Files podcast that Nick had with Nicole, and she was saying how like it was very inappropriate. We're gonna get into that. But first, I wanted to touch on Nicole and Kendall and why I'm just so like why I'm literally so team Kendall and not Nicole. So like if you watch the reunion, you guys could see how like you have Nicole calling Kendall out about that whole video situation, and you have Nicole. I keep on saying the Kendall, but you have Nicole basically saying like basically egging Kendall on and being like, oh, like why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me about the video? Blase blase. And at first I was on Nicole's side because I was just like, okay, like I get what she means. I get where she's coming from. It's just like as somebody from somebody who's like, been in a relationship, she probably wants a relationship where her partner is honest, forthcoming, and such and such. Like she wants a partner who is honest and forthcoming. And I was like, okay, I respect Nicole for that. Like I'm on Nicole's side, because even Serena was saying, oh, if my man did that to me, like I would have been out the door. But my whole thing is just that, like, I don't know, like now I'm team Kendall. And we can get into that in a minute. Oh my God, my face. Hold on, my face is... All right, I'm back. I had to like put a little bit of makeup on my face because I just could not look at my face bare. Like, I don't know. I'm so insecure with like my face being bare. Also, it would be very great if you guys would leave me a testimonial for the Sephora squad. I applied to join the Sephora squad. The link is in my bio. So if you want to leave me a good testimonial and just, write me a good comment, like write me a good testimonial and like vouch for me, that would be so great. The link is in my bio for you guys to like put a testimonial for me. Also follow me on my socials. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. My socials are on my YouTube banner. But anyways, back to the whole Nicole and Kendall situation. So the reason why I'm team Kendall now, because I'm just like, if Nicole really wanted to keep Kendall, she would have never yelled at him. And I think this just goes to show that like Nicole is just very childish. When I watched back the reunion, I'm just like, Nicole is very childish simply because of the fact that like she raised her anger out at the reunion. Instead, what she should have done was been respectful about the situation. And I think Nicole was doing all this for publicity stunt and also for clout. I think Nicole thought that this was her chance to like put her 400K followers to 700K followers and be up there with Serena, Janae, Leah, Kaylor when it came to followers. I think Nicole put on a whole show for the reunion because I'm just like, why did you have to raise your voice like that? And I'm just like, yes, Kendall did what he did in that hotel, but at the end of the day, like you could have worked out the situation. And if you were really more mature and if you really cared about love, you would have worked through the situation out with Kendall. You would have apologized and been like, okay, like, I'm sorry, we could work through this. And you had even Kendall trying to work through things with her. So I think it just goes to show that, like, Nicole really never wanted Kendall. Like, Nicole was never feeling Kendall. And I could even see it in her face during the whole, like, last episode of the show where, like, she went on that date with him. And, like, she was, like, it was just so fake. Like, you could just tell. Like, I did not like that. Like, I honestly just... It just wasn't genuine. Like, it just was just not genuine to me. I don't know. Like, when they were on the date, it was just sad for me to watch. Like, it was just really sad for me to watch. Just seeing just them go on a date and not really, like, like, I just saw no connection. And I was having so much faith in Nicole and Kendall for now, it to be that like Kendall breaks up with Nicole. I think Kendall had a good right to like break up with Nicole simply because of the fact that like Nicole, like, I feel like that she was just always childish. Like, and also like she was trying to talk to other guys in the villa. And I think at one point like Nicole was kind of playing Kendall. And I think all the women, I said this in my other videos, but I think all the women were kind of like the people who were with Kendall, they were playing him all along, from Hannah to Nicole. Like, I think every woman that was with Kendall in the villa, they were playing in his face. But the reason why I'm just so for Kendall, I'm just like, Kendall just went through what he went through when it came to that leak. And I said this on my TikTok. But Kendall, like, when Kendall had that leak video out, he already went through so much hate. So for you to come at the reunion and even throw more hate at him, it's just kind of just very unprofessional for me. And it's just like, Nicole's just like, why didn't you check on me to see if I was okay? I'm just like, Nicole, you could have also checked on him to see if he was okay after he, like, were you not paying attention? You could have checked on him to see if he was okay when he was getting all that hate when the video leaked. Like, this is some real stuff. And also, like, another thing is just that, why, like, you had people even defending Kendall, and you had Cordell and Janae defending Kendall. You had the whole room defending Kendall, saying that, like, no, like, if I knew I was in the wrong for that situation, I would be afraid to tell the truth at the moment right now. Like, I would be afraid to tell the truth at that moment. You have people defending Kendall. Like, why is it the first time that I'm seeing a reality show where people are defending a man that, like, and also it's just like, it was just a small situation. Like, you could have worked it out. You had so many people speaking for Kendall. Nicole was just like saying, like, oh, like, Kendall, like, you don't even talk about me. You don't even care about me. Like, you didn't care about me after the show. You never talked about me after the show. And you had Cordell having to butt in and be like, no, Kendall would talk about you all the time. Kendall would mention you all the time. And I think that's why Kendall just dropped Nicole. Simply because of the fact that, like, Kendall could see how immature Nicole was. And even when Kendall on the show was saying that, like, she was going to be waiting for Nicole to get married with him, you could just see, like, she was just so immature for him. I think Kendall is just more level-headed. Kendall handles situation better, and Nicole just doesn't. Like, Nicole just can't handle any situation at all, I feel like. And I feel like that Nicole just needs therapy. No, and I think I saw another Black TikTok creator saying that, like, Nicole, like, when she's gonna get so much more hate out of this than she thinks she is, and she's gonna need a big support system to, like, kind of help her through the situation. I think Nicole needs therapy. I've been hearing that, like, Nicole has been getting so many bad messages. Like, I think, and, like, yes, like, I'm not trying to bash Nicole, but I think, like, as someone who's a social work major, I think that Nicole just literally, like, needs therapy. Like, she needs therapy. Because I'm just like, there's just no way that, like, you had to, like, put on a whole act. And I think also Serena needs therapy too, but not in a bad way, but, like, you know, after, like, what happened between her and Cordell. But I think Nicole needs therapy the most. I'm just like, for you to just come in the reunion and just act the most immature, my throat, and, like, for you to like put on a whole, and I don't care, this was a small situation between Kendall and Nicole, for you to put on a whole act on stage, yell, it's just like, you had to be upset at something else. Like, let's not be wrong. Hold on. I'm going to have to recharge my phone because my phone charger has been acting so weird. Hold on. All right, I'm back. It's time for me to get a new iPhone charger. I don't know why, but my iPhone charger was just not charged. So I had to, like, kind of recharge it and, like, replug it back in my phone. But anyways, yeah, I think Nicole just simply needs therapy. Like, she needs mental help. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, she just needs mental help. And I think that Kendall deserves someone who's more calm, who's more chill, who doesn't really react loud. And I think the reason why Kendall and Nicole's relationship ended badly simply because of the fact that, like, Nicole was never mature. Nicole wasn't trying to work through anything. Like, she would not try to work through anything. And I hope that Kendall goes on another podcast, or did I miss a podcast of him after the reunion? I hope that Kendall goes on another podcast to explain his side of the story of why he broke up with her. I think I saw some videos of why, but I'm not trying to read all that. But, like, I just really want Kendall to speak up on a podcast and expose Nicole for, like, maybe, I don't know, her actions. And, like, yes, Kendall did what he did. Like, that wasn't really right. Kendall did not tell the truth. But I'm just like, Kendall just went through so much hate after the villa. You had people talking to Kendall recklessly on TikTok live about like how he was anti-black and stuff like that. And so like for you to come on the reunion and then throw even more negativity towards him, like if you really loved him, you would have gave him so much support. You would have worked things out with him when it came to that whole situation. And yes, he didn't tell the truth, but let's not be for real right now. If like, I'm sorry, but like I have been in situations myself where I just can't tell the truth at the right moment. Like I'm like, he had to like, yes, he lied, but it's just like, he was like, it was so hard to tell the truth. Like, Kendall has went through a lot already. I think that Nicole should have just let this situation go. I don't know how else to explain the situation between Kendall and Nicole, but I'm team Kendall 10,000%. Like I stand 10 toes down behind Kendall. Next, I want to talk about the whole Vial Files podcast. So there was a girl on TikTok and she was basically talking about how like, I forget what she was saying, but she was talking about how like Nicole, when Nicole was on the Vial File podcast, what did she say? She was saying how like Nick was just very inappropriate towards her when it came to like him speaking towards Nicole. And when Nicole was saying like that, like this is kind of like, this is my therapy, which is very inappropriate. And honestly, like I have to really speak on this. Like, because I'm just like, when I watched a podcast with like Nick, the Vial Files, if you guys don't know, if you don't watch the Vial File podcast, that's where like Nicole went to speak her piece. I just think that like the podcast just felt very weird to me. Like, I don't know, like when I was watching the podcast, I was just like, there's just something that's just not right. Like the way how like Nick wasn't really asking the questions thoroughly. Like, let me see if I could pull it up. Okay. Some girl did a TikTok. I'm gonna see if I could put it on my YouTube, but she did a TikTok where she was just talking about how like,
I finally got through stupid Nick Vial's podcast and made it to the end. My main takeaways. This isn't something fucked up or something messed up that happened to Kendall. This is illegal. This was a crime. This was an invasion of privacy and exploitation, and really just robbing him of his own body and consent. The entire podcast is Nick giving advice that he's, in my mind, this is my opinion, not qualified to give, and pushing Nicole in the direction to break up, to the point of even telling her what words she should use to break up. All the while drilling and prying to know these details. What do you think the truth is? I would encourage you to not drop the truth. You know in your heart what the truth is, Nicole. Do you really think that he was sending it to a girl on Raya? Shut the fuck up, Nick. It doesn't matter who he sent it to. It doesn't matter when he sent it. All that matters is that whomever got this video exploited.
So basically she's saying how like Nick Vial wasn't really appropriate when it came to the interview, and I have to wholeheartedly agree with that, simply because of the fact that like I just didn't like how like he would just ask like Nicole questions. Like he didn't really seem professional. Like, I don't know, when I was watching this podcast, I was just like, I was not getting a lot out of this podcast at all. Like when I saw the Nick Vial podcast with Nicole, like he wasn't really asking the right questions. Like he wasn't really going in depth with her, and it was like the whole time just like Nick speaking the whole time. But I'm gonna just put the video in my YouTube because I cannot explain the video thoroughly. I'm gonna put the video in my YouTube to like show you guys like what I saw on my For You page, and then comment down below what you guys think about this. But yeah, I don't know, like, has anybody thought to like the podcast that like Nicole was recently on, like the whole Nick Vial podcast was like kind of just like weird. Like Nicole and Nick were kind of weird on the podcast. Like, was there something weird about Nick Was there also something weird about Nicole? Like, that's what I found out by just watching this TikTok. I even watched the podcast and I already knew, like, it's kind of boring me. Like, it's kind of a snooze fest, but it was also just weird to me. And I'm like, now that people are catching on to, like, what was actually weird about this podcast, it's kind of bizarre to me. But I didn't watch it fully to, like, actually, like, kind of speak on it on my video. So I'm gonna just end the video right here. But I'm gonna also add the TikTok in my video as well. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you like maybe next week. I don't know. I'm gonna see you when I post my next video. Also, remember to vouch for me on Sephora, and just make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with family and friends. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, loves.
I finally got through stupid Nick Vial's podcast and made it to the end. My main takeaways. This isn't something fucked up or something messed up that happened to Kendall. This is illegal. This was a crime. This was an invasion of privacy and exploitation, and really just robbing him of his own body and consent. The entire podcast is Nick giving advice that he's, in my mind, this is my opinion, not qualified to give, and pushing Nicole in the direction to break up, to the point of even telling her what words she should use to break up. All the while drilling and prying to know these details. What do you think the truth is? I would encourage you to not drop the truth. You know in your heart what the truth is, Nicole. Do you really think that he was sending it to a girl on Raya? Shut the fuck up, Nick. It doesn't matter who he sent it to. It doesn't matter when he sent it. All that matters is that whomever got this video exploited him and committed a crime. And then Kendall had to find that out, process how to navigate this, how to tell friends, family members, work around his job, tell his new relationship. And yes, okay, he lied to Nicole. But these other lies, first of all, I call that a trauma response. I can't say, again, I said this in other videos, that I wouldn't have lied myself. But like, what are these other lies in question? I don't even want to know, because already too much information is out there. But if the other lies in question that Kendall has told is about his past, how many partners he's been with, or just details that you really don't have the right to know, and really is just more of a shaming thing to make your partner feel, I don't know, less pure, or like you're judging them. So it's Nick pushing the interview with the tone of breaking up with him. It's pressing for details that he should not care about or post. Like, is this not like a lawsuit happening? Like, aren't you like not supposed to discuss this, Nick? And because of the comments he's making on wanting to get the truth from Nicole, he leaves things ambiguous and open to interpretation, and uses language that other people use when they're trying to insinuate something about someone's sexuality. Nick needs to have enough awareness to know this. And if that's not his intention, as I've said, it's irresponsible to leave that open to someone's interpretation on your big platform. You have editors, you have production. The virality of this episode was prioritized over the health and safety of an actual person, Kendall, and even Nicole, because Nick knew that this was going to be a polarizing episode. As someone who doesn't like my camaraderie with people I interview to be mistaken as flirtations, Nick made me uncomfortable. The way he talked to Nicole, complimented her, unwanted advice, was really enjoying how she kept saying that this felt like a therapy session. He loved that. He just wanted to give her more and more and more. And it gave me an inside idea into his and Natalie's relationship, because they do have that age gap and dynamic where things that he does are impressive to her, or maybe used to be. But Nick also just talked about himself way too much. We don't care about your experience while you were the Bachelor. Reference Keke Palmer's interview with Cordell and Serena. The focus, as much as I love Keke, the focus was on Cordell and Serena. And Nick did this in his interview with Aaron and Rob as well, which was also hard to get through. This constant, Rob, I think me and you are a lot alike. Like, we're super cool, attractive, mysterious. Everybody thinks that we're hot, you know. Get a grip, get over yourself, and probably add a lot more courses on internalized misogyny, advocating for survivors, exploitation, all of it.